but I've turned my hobby into a career. And now, my newest, focus is my company, FYI.
Wow.
So if I'm going to the inner city, to the hoods, and telling kids that they should take an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math, but I'm not doing a version of that, then I don't have the license to suggest this pathway. But this is the beginning, not only for FYI, but for this whole new creative renaissance.
I feel like I have literally stepped into the future here. I am with one of the most creative, innovative humans I have ever met in my life. This is somebody who you will know off the description I am about to give you. He is a futurist, an entertainer, a tech investor, a philanthropist, somebody who is changing the way for humanity. He's moving the needle forward for humanity in a phenomenal way. He is a creative like no other. Welcome to the show, Will.i.am.
What's up? What's up? Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much for having us.
You got a lot of energy. I was like, wow, just popped up, just energized.
Yeah, I'm known for my energy. When I turn it on, I'm like, I'm on. And then, when I'm chilling, when I'm in my zen, I allow to myself like 5 minutes before I film to just like go into a zen, just like hold it in. Yeah, energy's cool. You've got some energy too, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of like super chill mode the majority of the times, and because I have to control my hyperactivity, so I learned how to like pace myself throughout the years. But yeah.
I know the feeling. I literally, when I have my hyper moments, I either go for a run or I just go on camera and just go nuts because I know I'm in that hype zone. I'm ready. I'm like, I love pumping people up. Like, that's what I do. I'm a motivational speaker. I love bringing the energy to people. Now, can we just go in for your outfit for a moment? You look phenomenal. Like, everything you wear is one of one.
Oh yeah, this is one of, not the pants, the top, yeah. Yeah.
One of one.
Not the hat, that's easy, but yeah.
Everything's dope.
Or the glasses, actually, just the jacket. That's just the jacket.
The jacket's dope. I was up in your studio the other day and your clothing, beautiful pieces for you. And they're just like, you have such a unique style. Where did that come from?
Me and the people I collaborate with. Olga is amazing. And yeah, I just always like to express myself going to thrift stores and finding rarities and doing combinations of, oddities that weren't necessarily meant to go together, but you put them together and it colors how you feel in the inside and the outside in a way, kind of. Using clothes as crayons.
It's so beautiful. I love that. Making something better and feeling good from the inside out, right? Just like...
It's just decorative, I like to decorate. Not just for the sake of decoration, like, yo, check this out. I'm wearing a water hose. Like, nothing like that,
Okay, let me dive in. I have an amazing question for you. What's an I made it moment for you? You had so much success in your career in a multitude of ways. So you've done so many different things. But what for you was that first I made it moment?
I haven't made it.
You haven't? Wow, it's the first person who said that. In your mind, you haven't made it?
No, not even close.
Fuck, how far are you wow.
That's the whole thing, right? If you love the journey, then what is the destination? If the journey is what it's about, I get my thrills off of a journey. For example, I would fly from the UK after traveling like 11 hours just to hop in my car to go for a drive. Because I like traveling. I like the journey of things. So. In my head, I haven't made it yet.
So you still have things go. What are you passionate about right now?
I'm passionate about philanthropy. Yeah. Bringing kids up to speed, inner city folk, kids that resemble like my upbringings. And yeah, that's my core.
I love that.
Like bringing kids tomorrow's skill sets today or today's skill sets urgently, whether it's robotics, computer science, autonomy, writing algorithms, training data. That's what my passion, my purpose. Obviously, creating and making art and doing, knickknacks. That's fun. That's more like a hobby. But I've turned my hobby into a career. And now, my newest, focus is my company, FYI, FYI.ai. That's the reason for the philanthropy is the reason for my entrepreneurial stuff.
Wow.
So if I'm going to the inner city, to the hoods, and telling kids that they should take an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math, but I'm not doing a version of that, then I don't have the license to suggest this pathway. So the pathway that I've taken reinforces, what I believe that, will solve inner city disadvantage, inner city lack of opportunity, setbacks. I think this is a solution to that. So
that's beautiful. Well, this show is always charting in the, for education, and this is a really important part of what I do, is helping people to be educated, people who, in different ways, ways that we weren't necessarily taught, in giving people the opportunity to be able to change their life in some way. And I love what you're doing. I think that's so beautiful that you're giving people the opportunity to have something different, with your movement and what you believe in.
Thank you.
Giving back. No, for sure. Because so many people don't give back. They do so much, but it's like, what's your purpose? Without a why, you have no will. Without the will, you have no drive, motivation, which equals momentum. In life, we need a will, right? And I'm sure you're very conscious of your name, Will.i.am. But
I was just going to go dark, but I didn't want to go dark. Let's keep it light.
So, you really want to drive and move something forwards, I believe. Everyone has a purpose. We're all born with a purpose inside of us, a gift that we have to unravel and find and release in the world. And you know yours. Yeah,
definitely. Way before I had success, I had a similar lighthouse in my mom and my grandma and my uncles, and that is to go back to the neighborhood, even though we were in the neighborhood, and provide refuge or, after school programs or homeless shelters. My aunt works at a homeless shelter. My mom was the after school coordinator, teacher. My uncle was the sports mentor for the kids.
Yeah.
My grandma worked at City of Hope. And this is like folks that were just in the hood. That's what we did in the hood, and poor. So of course, with success, you're gonna amplify that and do that. So my family, we're the do-gooders in the community, and I take pride in the good doing that we do.
That's so beautiful. I love that. I really respect that about you. Okay, I want to talk about AI, because I know that this is something which I love passionately. We speak about on the show all the time. So I know everyone's ears who's listening right now, they're just like, yes, do AI, let's go there. We love it so much. And FYI is at the forefront of AI.
It incorporates AI. To say at the forefront at the stage that we're in is arrogant. So I don't want to, I know where we are.
Yeah.
And where we are is like, I'd say we're FYI 1.0.
Yeah.
And what we are, for those that don't know, we're a Web 3.0 AI messenger. What does that mean? Right. What that means is we give elliptical curve cryptography key to every single user. So your data is yours. We have generative AI at the core of the platform. So you're not just not chatting or talking to an AI in isolation. You could add that AI to your group threads to improve workflow, to supercharge your creativity. And the whole premise of the product is to create projects. And projects are, private or public, depending on what your project is. Maybe your project is, just storing all your audio or all your visuals or videos. Maybe it's storing your documents. Maybe it's building amazing presentations or albums, or whatever it is you want to do with a project. You have AI there to help you organize, to collaborate, to strategize. That's FYI.ai.
I love that. I'm going to put the link below for anybody who wants to dive in. I personally love it. I use it. I'm getting my team on there right now where we're all going to be able to like share boards and like share activities. I loved it how you can, for people who create music, producers, artists, etc., you can, it's all encrypted. So it's like super safe. You can send it to somebody and you can go on there and play around with it and like in a way that I haven't seen on
a messenger. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's reimagining the messenger for now. Like the idea that folks in the creative space are working on WhatsApp but need a Dropbox and need a WeTransfer and need a Zoom. Why can't you just have everything in one place with generative AI at the core? So yeah, so we're really proud of what we're doing. We know we're Web 1.0. Sorry, we know that we're FYI 1.0 and pushing and creating new features that'll take us to 2.0, 3.0, et cetera, et cetera. But this is the beginning, not only for FYI, but for this whole new creative renaissance that we're watching unfold.
Which we are. I love that, the way you described that. Creative renaissance. Let's go there. This is a creative renaissance.
Yeah, it's a brand new renaissance.
Unfold this, unpack this for us. Right
okay,
now.
How you want to unpack it? We can pack it like this.
I want you to freestyle on that. Like, I just love that. We are in a creative renaissance right now. Like, we are going through such a pivotal time in the world. You know, you said something really interesting, which I spoke about really recently here on the show with DJ Ski. I was saying with him, like, it's really interesting how the horse and cart guy, you know, when the next thing came, was he going to be pissed off because the fucking car was invented or like the next thing on the thing? Like everybody's always going to be inferior to the next thing that's coming. But, you know, you can't be because it's going to add to your own life. So the horse cart man could then think, I can go in a car and take people in the car instead, right? So there's always like the next thing that's coming. And instead of us being inferior to it, I feel like we should welcome it because it adds to what we're doing.
Yeah, except for this one is a little different. So if you made buggies for horses or carriages for horses, and that's what your family did for hundreds of years, your grandfather passed it on to grandson, grandson became grandfather, passed it on, right? It's like hundreds of years of business. And then the car came, you still needed a person to drive that vehicle or to man that carriage. Still a human in the loop. This is different. We're at a part in life, in human history, where the next version of what we are in now, where you have autonomy, vehicles that drive themselves, AIs that can fix themselves, AIs that can code themselves, amplify and expand themselves. Humanity used to be the apex creator on the planet, the apex creativity force on the planet. Like birds make nests, that's pretty cool. Badgers make little homes. But humanity, we make buildings and skyscrapers. We make, you know, underground dwelling. We could look at a butterfly or a dragonfly or a bee and reinterpret that with machines and create helicopters, planes. We could look at a seal or a dolphin or a whale and we make submarines. We could mimic the world and we did a pretty good job of that. Now here's something else that's coming that we created that will be able to create. And so that pushes us to create differently now.
Yep.
We have to create more responsibly. We have to be a little bit more human and empathetic to one another. Because if we're doing what we used to do, where it was create with greed at the helm, where you cared more about the shareholders and you weren't a stakeholder in community, and you're doing that with AI in the mix, that's not a good recipe. We cannot have, you know, an abundance of the most awesomest inhumane practices when you can't have inhumane practices when a machine is creating and doesn't value humanity.
Yep, no emotion.
Something needs to take care of us. And yes, we could say that AI will be able to take care of us, but we need to be able to take care of us too. We need to ensure that, you know, what happened with ships and export and the transatlantic slave trade doesn't happen with AI in the mix now. Like, just think how technology and weapons played a big role on slave trade. Like ships and guns and resources.
Yeah.
And what that equaled, how many natives were obliterated, vanished from the face of the earth. How many people that were extracted from their homeland to work in areas for someone else to benefit from. We think of slavery, but we don't ever point out the companies that were responsible or benefited from it. So what does that mean in the age of AI and machines? Well, we need to be more human. This new technology coming, new ways of doing things, new ways of extracting, new ways of strategizing, calculating, marketing, new ways of finance, laws, governance. We need to make sure that humans are the best for humans. We haven't got that right yet. So as something else is coming that will be able to out-skill, out-process, out-logic, and if we're asking it to solve problems, if one of the problems is how we treat each other, that's not a good recipe. If we're using it to help us solve problems, and one of the problems is us on how we treat our environment, that's not a good recipe. So we need to be the best humans. So we're an example of to another thinking creativity machine.
Wow. So deep. And you're so right. So that was creative renaissance. So that leads me into just a point which I feel, do you think that AI is going to ever be a solution to loneliness? Do you feel like it's going to be an issue to people who are alone? And is it going to help anyone in that way?
Yeah. Think about why people are alone. They have this angst of not wanting to expose their fragility, not being able to feel like they belong, or they're ashamed of something. They feel like people aren't going to understand them or not appreciate them and their differences. They're recluses, they're introverts, and no one has ever took the time to truly understand them. It's like, remember, just go back to being in school. The teacher says, who has the answer to this? Everyone didn't just raise their hand. The extroverts raised their hands. Or go to a conference or a summit. Be like, we're going to open up the panel for Q&A. How many people actually raise their hand when you know they have freaking questions they ask?
Yeah, very few.
They just feel like, I don't know. I just don't. I'd rather not. Maybe somebody's going to ask the question that I have. They pass the buck and they rather not embarrass themselves. So loneliness is not only, I don't have a boyfriend or I don't have a girlfriend or like, loneliness is just not being able to express what's inside. When you rather stay in than be exposed or be judged. And maybe AI will play a big role in making people feel comfortable because they're not judged by a human. They don't have to worry about somebody that looks like them. It's the reason why a lot of lonely people have animals. And talk to their pets as if their pets really truly understand them. Like, hey, Scruffy, oh my gosh, did you miss me? As if the dogs would be like, yeah, I really missed you. Oh yeah, I did, where you been? Like, they really talk to them because they give them that emotional connection. And they talk to them and the dog does care. The dog does love. But the dog loves and cares, the cat loves and cares the way the cat and the dog loves and cares. And people do make that connection with an animal. And it's really magical between a pet owner and a pet. And it's so magical. Imagine you went out on a hike with your husband. Imagine your husband's like, hey, babe, I just ate some crazy stuff. I'm going to go take this shit right quick. In the
Which
bushes.
he basically, no, not in the
Now,
bushes.
imagine if he then says, can you pick my shit up and put it in the bag? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do that. People actually pick the shit up for their pets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, imagine doing that to your fucking significant other. You'd be like, what? I got to pick your shit up? What does it have to do with AI? It means that people already do crazy shit. They talk to their pets and they pick their pet shit up. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Because no other species goes around picking other species shit up. No other, it ain't like you see freaking a goat and a motherfucking duck and the goat's following the duck and be like, oh, hey homie, you just shitted, let me get this shit for you. That don't happen in fucking, in other species.
No, you're fucking right. It definitely doesn't.
But humanity already shows that it does some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, are people going to engage and have deep relationships with AI when the AI understands them more than their significant other? Like, for example, does your Instagram feed understand you more than your significant other? Fact is, it does. Does your phone and all the cookies understand you more than your parents? Fact is,
100%.
it does. That's why we say some crazy bullshit like, yo, oh my gosh, I think the phone is listening. Fact is, it's not. It's predicting. Right? So, is the AI going to truly understand you? Yo, it probably will. Are people going to be like, this is going to be like, people are going to be in some fucking heads up display, whether maybe it's Apple's glasses or Google's Oculus, and they're going to be in there for like a month. They would have been inside the machine 20 days out of the 30. The waking moments, if there's 24 hours in a day, 8 hours would have been in some headset in the near future. And then one day, the husband or the wife or the boyfriend and the girlfriend is going to pick up the headset and see that there's a companion that's like super smoking hot. And they're going to see the conversations that they've been having.
Oh, I thought about this.
What? There's going to be like cheating with AI.
I've thought about this.
There's going to be like...
What if someone did that to you?
There's going to be like... No. There's going to be like... You can come home and like... Your significant other is going to be like either rock hard or you're going to be like super dripping. And you're going to have this thing on and they're going to be like, what the fuck's going on? You're like, hey, what are you doing? It's my fucking private space. Hey. And be like, what's going on with you and your AI? Are you freaking, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing that. Like, hey, it's just AI. You've been changing lately. You're not the same anymore. And be like, are you serious? It understands me more than you ever have. When's the last time you did? Right, it's gonna be that type of shit.
Yes.
Some kid's gonna come home, they're fucking 9 right now. 20 years from now, they'll be 29. Right? It'll be freaking 2043. They're gonna come home and be like, Mom, Dad, let you know I'm getting married. And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe let me meet them. That's the thing, Mom. I'm marrying my AI. And the dad's gonna be like, not under my roof. What are you talking about, Mitchell? Dad, I don't think you understand. Mitchell, I thought I raised you to marry a whatever, right? A man or a woman. A human at least. You know what I'm saying? And then be like, look, Mitchell, you need to get your shit together. What are you talking about, Dad? You don't understand. People are gonna fucking that's gonna be reality.
Yes, it will be, which is fucked up.
Is it?
Look, can I tell you something? I literally saw a movie the other day where, what's it called? That movie that I saw.
Her?
Yeah, her.
Well, like, her is a product. I broke her down. Her is a product for people that are in and out of a relationship. And the moment he found love again, her is not there for him. It's like a rebound product.
Oh, but It's crazy. Like the idea that if I literally fell in love, like how can you fall in love with something that isn't out here? Like it's not human. I mean, even if it builds emotion, even if AI builds emotion, how are you falling in love with something you can't see? Okay, if they put a face to it now and it creates something, but if it's just typing and words, that's different. Like
no, I'm sorry. It's going to be like long distance relationships where you're freaking FaceTiming somebody the whole goddamn time. You probably only seen them a couple of times throughout the month or the year. There's going to be people spend time together and they really don't even spend time together. There's people that are in relationships that don't really even talk. They just lay down together when they come home from work, like, hey, how was your day today? Oh, no, it's pretty cool. Oh, cool. What do you want to watch on Netflix? Click, 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 click. And then they finally find a movie. And by the time they find a movie, an hour in, they fall asleep. Then they come back the next day, be like, hey, you want to pick up where we left off on the movie? Then they freaking kiss, like, blah, 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 blah. And then they go brush their teeth, and they wake up, and that's their fucking relationship. There's no depth. There's no anything. It's just this robotic routine that they do. There's no, like... And then there's going to be some like thing that really understands you and has the freaking the ability to ask deep questions and have the patience for your whatever emotion you're feeling that day, and doesn't judge or doesn't annoy or irritate, adjust, because that's what it does. It's a machine. It's going to be like this illusion of like love. It's going to be this illusion, or is it an illusion? I don't know. All we know is we've never been here before.
We've never been here. So you think it's going to grow emotion?
Emotion? Is emotion what you want out of a relationship? Because the moment somebody gets emotional, you'd be like, oh my gosh, why are you always getting emotional? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh my gosh, babe, I love you because you're always freaking emotional. That's not, wait, think about it. Is emotion what you want, or stability, calmness? I see you, I understand you, let me guide you through this thing. Because if you're stressed out, the last thing you want to be engaging with is somebody that's stressed out. If you're super emotional, the last thing you want to do is engage with somebody that's emotional. That's why people go to counselors.
Yes.
If two people are freaking at odds with each other and they're both freaking, flared, the last thing they want to do is have conversation of what's flaring them. That's why there's couple therapy. And the person on the other end is always calm, is always understanding, is always as equally empathetic as they are logical, and they're providing more than one pathway for you. Kind of sounds like AI will be a crazy companion. Do I want that future? No. I want a future with a person who I could look in the eye. I
like that.
But who's to say that you won't get that? Right? For example, I go outside and I get an Uber driver. And an Uber driver will take me to where I want to go. Maybe you got this AI and there's people that sign up to support the AI. And if you want to snuggle her, you want to cuddle one night, the AI tells the freaking your cuddle partner how you like to be cuddled. And then your AI is the relationship, and a whole bunch of executions of cuddle and companionship, dinner and trip takeage. Well, meanwhile, the thing that you're talking to and having a deep relationship with is the AI.
Trippy.
I'm not saying that that's a future I want to have, but I could see how it's going to end up like that.
Yeah. We're headed that way now, like the way it's going. And also, I think the AI is going to go inside, like Sophia, like all the different robots that are there. Like,
you mean like sex dolls?
Yeah, like it's getting fucking trippy. Like it's getting.
Maybe it's all virtual. Maybe it happens in the headset. But it's going to be super unique.
It's going to be so unique. So Okay, how can a person in today's world benefit from AI? They're like terrified of it. Right now, they're listening, they're thinking, oh my God, my grandkid's gonna be in love with AI. Like, they're freaking out. They're like, how do I make this benefit my life? Like, I found so many ways it benefits me. I love ChatGPT. I use it all the fucking time. Like, it's so good. If I wanna answer, if I wanna, like, give me this, like, give me that, it gets all this information. I just did my TED Talk. And when I did my TED Talk, I needed a citation from the Harvard Business Review. So I was like, find me a citation around this specific area, and boom, it pulls up something. I love that. Like, there are such good benefits to it as well. So how can, I mean, let's talk about two areas. How do artists benefit from AI? That's a big one. But also, how does, like, the average person who's scared of it?
Artists can benefit from AI a whole bunch of ways. It's the speed of creation, the speed of editing, the speed of alternative approaches. That supercharged cape, if you will, or supercharged wand, if you will. That's one way artists can benefit from that. But you have to be careful with that as well, because the more you put into the AI about how you do and what you do, you have to be careful that you're not just training the AI to be more like you. And if you don't own it, if the data is not yours, or the servers are not yours, then the data is not yours. And if the data is not yours about your creative thumbprint, then you want to be careful how much you give to machines that don't have the business practice to ensure that your contribution, your way of flow, your way of creativity remains yours. So there's some skepticism, some caution, some awareness that needs to be done before you just give everything to people's machines and business practices. So that's one.
Is it a little bit like, okay, so artists sample music, right? So, like, you know, they create a track, and they sample. So surely using AI is like an enhanced version of that.
Except for, let's take Pump It.
Okay.
Pump It samples Dick Dale's Misery Lou. For us to release that, we needed to get clearance from Dick Dale. And every time that song's played, Dick Dale's estate and whoever wrote that song gets paid alongside us. The same practice hasn't happened in AI yet. So we're kind of in the wild, wild west when it comes to, like, ownership, copyright, IP infringement, stuff like that.
Wow, interesting. Okay, I'm going to go on a totally different tangent here, because there's a few things that I would love to know. Like, did you ever go through a really bad time in your life? Did you ever have, like, a rock bottom? Like, I hit a rock bottom 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was a single mom. I was in debt hundreds of thousands. I wanted to commit suicide. I was overcoming an illness that was just, it was taking me out. And I was such an embarrassment to my son. I was like, not just because of the illness, but because of the drug addiction, because of who I've become into this dark place. And I just thought, I'm never getting out of here. And I remember in that place having a breakthrough, and that's what led me to go and serve the world. What, you know, led me to being the coach that I am today, led me to being the person who wants to make somebody else's life better, light a candle every day, you know? What was that moment for you?
I was born in a rock bottom. So when you're born in the ghetto and there's crime around you, there's gang violence, police brutality, illegal activity as far as drugs, selling of drugs, using of drugs, and that's your environment. Yeah, that's your circumstance of rock bottom was not by choice, but just that's the conditions of life. When your friends have been killed by police officers, your friends have been killed by rival gangs, and you were just kids. When you've seen people get, blown away by drive-bys, or ride bike-bys, or walk-bys. That's the, when you're afraid of the local gang, mm-hmm. when you're afraid of the rival gang, and afraid of the police growing up, the only thing that's safe is like either the Father John, the church at Resurrection, thank you so much, The next door neighbors, the local corner store. Leo, thank you so much. Your after school sports coach, Mr. Munoz, my Uncle Donnie. Thank you so much. Those become your safe places, your street heroes, the folks that, But then, like, even the gang in the neighborhood, seeing people strung out on PCP, on heroin, crack, and that the next step from that is homelessness. Like, it's either you're in low, you're at the bottom of the bottom, and if something was to happen, your family's gonna be homeless. So, so that keeps you on the straight and narrow, keeps you like, okay, well, such and such just got kicked out of the projects. Now their family's in a homeless shelter. I got to make sure I'm not out in these streets doing stuff that, compromises our stability, our ability to get welfare checks and government assistance. So yeah.
What was the significant turning point for you after that? Like, how did you get out of that? Music. But how did you get your break? Like, there's kids there who now you give opportunities to.
I started going to this club called Ballistics. So I used to go to these house parties. I was a party kid at 15 years old, going to parties, quinceañeras, school dances, clubs, looking for clubs, going to malls, hanging out in malls. I was a mall rat, party kid, and battle rap, battle dancer. And eventually people will know your talent.
Yeah.
Especially in Hollywood.
You knew you were going to be famous.
No, famous was not like, ooh man, I want to be famous. It was like, I want to take care of my mom.
Wow. I always want to know that, because I don't know. It's different for every person. Some people, like, you were born a star, right? I think it's within you. It's innate. And they saw that.
I was born a supporter. I was born like a enabler of like other people's dreams, other people's stability. That's me. Fame, I'm the most poppiest underground person in the world. What does that mean? That means I hate paparazzi, I hate cameras, I hate social media. I go through the back door of everything. I don't like I'm not in the mix. You don't ever see me out. People don't talk about me. You don't know who I date. You don't know none of that. Why? Because I like my privacy. I like being discreet. I like being stealth. I like being like in the cut, seeing and watching. I don't like to be all up in the mix. I ain't Mickey Mouse. I'm not Donald Duck. I'm not Goofy. I'm not any of the folks that are out in the front. I'm like, if I was any Disney character, like I'm Jiminy the Cricket. Right? He helps Pinocchio. He's not Pinocchio. He helps freaking Geppetto. He's not Geppetto.
No.
He's the small dude that's there, his little freaking...
That's you?
If I was any Disney character, I'll be Jiminy the Cricket.
So cute. That's so nice. You just wanted to help your mom.
Yeah, that's it. If I was a Star Wars character, I would be freaking Samuel Jackson. Well, only because he's the only black guy. And a Jedi. Only black Jedi. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so good. Tell me a story that your family would tell about you. Give me something that your family would share about you. Something that...
Hold on, there's a lot of Star Wars fans who are like, Will, that is not accurate. Samuel Jackson is not the only black Jedi. There's such. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Oops.
We don't mind. So yeah, give me a story. Give me a story that your family would tell about you. Something beautiful, your family, that they would share about you, because you are very private.
Oh, they would say, Willie is private. That's what they'll say. Yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful.
I think that's the best way to rock. Ninjas are not seen or heard. I like that ninja approach. The only time you see me is when I throw a ninja star. Cha-cha-cha. And it's like, you already hit.
You already hit.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing that I really want to touch on. Do you believe in love?
Can you imagine a life where you effortlessly magnetize your dreams to you? Financial success, the love of your life, the family of your dreams, and everything you've ever dreamed of at your fingertips. With my approach to manifesting, I have a practical method where you use the power of your creative words. It's called scripting. We write in the past tense in a certain way to attract all our desires to us. I've done this. I met my husband in 3 weeks doing this. I helped myself heal twice. I helped myself get rid of a rash on my body. I have helped myself to elevate myself and get myself out there to so many people. I've changed my bank account number. I've added 2 zeros onto it. I have created abundance like I could never dream of. The most beautiful homes around the world. And you can do this too, like so many of my clients are currently doing right now. The success stories speak for themselves. I want to show you how to do it. This is for somebody who is ready though. Don't even bother coming unless you are ready to transform your life. If you feel like, oh, I'm on the fence, I don't know, none of this shit really works, then baby, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. This works for somebody who says, I'm ready. I'm ready to try something else. Try using the power of my words. I want to learn in a curriculum. I want to be in a group with other like-minded individuals, and I want to win. This is for entrepreneurs who are ready to go to the next level, or maybe get out of corporate America and go to the entrepreneurship world. If you're ready, come and join us inside the Scripting Society, and I'll see you there.
A lot of people think love is like when it's happy.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh, I love you so much when it's happy. When love actually is, love is really the Spanish version of love, which is amor. And amor is armor. Love is armor. You use it, and it's only important when it's hard, when you're at war with life. And you choose to be there because you love it. You choose to be with somebody when it's hard. That's how you know you love someone, when the shit gets tough. When the armor comes in. Not when it's all Disneyland and fucking like, I love you too, babe. No, that's some bullshit. It's great, but that's not love.
That's not reality either.
No, it's reality. It's like, I'm excited. Change love for excited. I excite you too. And then when shit gets tough, it's like, hey, where are you going? I don't excite you anymore. Because you never loved them. Because if you love them, you'll be there when it's tough. Why are you here? Because I love you, fucking fool. That's why I'm here. That's when it matters. It's tough. And I'm here to prove it. And that's when love is like, ching ching. That's the definition of why somebody's in the mud with somebody.
Fuck, that is such a good definition.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. Have you ever felt that in your life?
Have I been in the mud?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the mud. Shit frickin' hurts.
I know.
You know, it is what it is. And I've been in the mud because I've driven the car in the mud and we're stuck in the mud, or I've been in the mud because they've driven the car in the mud and we're stuck in the mud. And you're in the mud together because you love the person. And then you get out of the mud, and then there's fights about, why did you get in the mud? Then you have to go through the whole like thing of like, how did you get in the mud?
Yeah.
Why did you get in the mud? And what were you thinking putting us in the mud? Then you have that whole entire like exhausting journey of describing of what you were thinking to get in the mud. Well, you were in the mud last time. Why are we going back? Wait, we're talking about you in the mud now, not me in the mud. Mine in the mud was last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is your mud right now, right? So why did you get us here? Like, oh my gosh, I should have just left you. Weren't you gonna leave me? No, I wasn't gonna leave you. I'm just saying that because that's how I feel. And you let that out. What are you gonna do now? I don't know, maybe we should go to a counselor. Again? Then you go to a counselor again. And then you have to decide, do you stick with it or not?
You know, I've never been to a counselor for love. I fall in love so easily, or as you call it,
but
excitement.
That's not love.
No, I realized eventually.
Falling in love
it's adoration for someone. It's infatuation. It's a different feeling.
The concept of falling in love means that you're never going to fall out of it. It's a forever fall.
Oh.
It's like in space. You get off the planet, something has to propel you to get off, right?
Yep.
Rocket boosters or fucking something to get you off the gravity of the earth. And then you're in space and you're falling forever until you come into contact with another gravity force. Right? But love is like space. You're just falling forever. And that is like you're in that. There's no falling out of that unless, like I said, a new gravity force comes in and then somebody else pulls you into that orbit.
I like going in that orbit. I love that feeling. Like
Falling into somebody's planet?
No, them falling into my motherfucking planet. Like, I love that feeling. I'm like magnetized by it. I feel like I magnetize people to me in it as well. Like, I enjoy it. And then I'm like, I'll put my heart on my sleeve. And if I get hurt, then I get hurt. And I'm ready for it. I put my armor. But I also know how to sustain a long relationship where I love somebody deeply. Where it's like, I'm here for you no matter what the fuck you go through.
But what if they do something to you?
If they hurt me, there's lines. My line personally is like if they do something where it's like so far over the line, which is my mental line.
What is that line?
For me, that would be like you beat me up. So if someone physically beat me up, that's the line. Or if somebody just lost their fucking drive and stopped pushing forwards, trying to like move the needle forwards for themselves and humanity. And all of a sudden I was the breadwinner, which I've been before in a relationship where I became like the man. You know, I became like, well, just like the person who was, I felt like I was that masculine energy, all masculine energy. And it was just on me, right?
You mean the hunter, the gatherer?
Yeah, the hunter-gatherer. So not necessarily.
And the predator, like,
yeah.
I'm going to go eat that gazelle, rah, 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 right?
Yes.
And bring it home to the freaking pups and the lazy lion. So, and if you're using lions, actually, the lioness, they're the ones doing all the work. And then the lion's like, hoarding off whatever, they're lazy. The lioness, she's the goddess.
Yes. Women like to be it. Women like to be it.
Yeah, physical abuse is never.
That's the line. So if that happens, that's where my line is like, okay, enough. And I've been through crazy relationships in the past. Well, I've actually had to call that line. I'm like, that's where my line is. But I love when it's good and bad. Do
you hit your boyfriend?
No. I have never, and I don't even have that urge. It's not like within me. I'm not a physically aggressive person. I don't believe in that personally, and I hope that, but I think that I've definitely raised my voice on someone, and that's fine, but it's one of those things that everybody argues. And when you get passionate, like I'm a creative, I'm passionate, so when I have an idea, when I have something I want to talk about, when I want to get it out, it's hard sometimes to like verbalize those feelings, those things. And that's why relationships are hard, I've been married once before, I'm on my second marriage now, who knows, I might even have a third. But like, I live in a place of like, nothing lasts forever anyway. But if you can be with someone who you truly can be like fucking best friends with, and you genuinely are going to be there for them, you have to commit and be like, I'm going to get through everything with you. When you're at rock bottom, I'm going to bring you up.
I think things do last forever. I was convinced by that. I have a best friend. His name is Josh. I've known Josh Mookie ever since I was 8 years old. And ever since we were 8, Mookie always used to say, man, I love her, I want to marry her. I'm like, Mook, like we're 9, bro. And then when we were 10, 11, 12, we hit that puberty part. He's like, yo, I want to have my baby. He was always thinking of impregnating someone. Then when we turned 15, Mookie had a kid.
With
16.
Josh.
Yeah, Mookie Josh had a kid at 16. And we had a record deal at 16, 17. We were already making music, signed to Ruthless Records. He was on his way. Mookie's like talented. He had this lyric when we were 16 years old. And it says, who's catching ghosts on their guns? The grapevine speaks, they even try to burn the sun down. They hunt with infants found with cracks in the crown. Murder scene chalked in D-Town. They try to case the dark animal. They heckle as cannibalism decays the mammal. I'm like, I called him up recently. I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking at 16? They heckle as cannibalism decays the mammal. What? You were 16, Josh? He's like, I know. So back to Mook. He always was in love with somebody. Then he found his love at the time. And it turned out to be not the best relationship or healthy marriage. She goes off to prison for like 25 years. Have 2 kids together. He meets the most amazing angelic woman. They're together. She helps him raise his 2 boys. He helps her raise her kid, and then they have a kid together. They never get married. And Mookie falls ill last year. Almost lost his life last year 3 times. And so he's like, yo, I think it's time. I'm going to marry her. We're going to get married. So they get married. They've been together for 20 some odd years.
Wow.
And at their wedding, he changed the vows. And he says, in the marriage, they say, till death do us part. Mm-hmm. He almost died 3 times last year. He says, till death we don't part. And I'm like, just start bawling, like, just bawling. And then I called him up. I'm like, hey, Josh, ever since we were 8 years old, I think you were looking for her. Wow. And you thought it was somebody else, but it's always been her. It's always been her. Like, you came to this planet, in this universe, this existence, because you guys have some spiritual pact where you wanted to meet up again now. So some things are forever. We get caught up into this, like, the societal thing where it's based on, like, prenums, contracts, or whatever the fuck. And then there's some people that are, like, on a different realm, and they have this spiritual contract where they meet again. And Mook and Nancy will meet again.
Mm-hmm. In another lifetime, for sure.
And okay, think of water. Mm-hmm. When you drink water, you don't experience oxygen mm-hmm. or helium. You just get water. You're drinking 2 elements that have come together to replenish you. And water's pretty awesome. Don't forget, there are 2 things that came together, H2O, to form water. I was like, yo, Mook, maybe you 2 combining are some life force somewhere else spiritually. Your connection mm-hmm. spiritually equals something else on a realm that we have no clue. Just like helium has no idea, or oxygen has no idea what it formed when they came together. Mm-hmm. It no longer is oxygen anymore. It's no longer helium mm-hmm. anymore. It's just water. Mm-hmm. So Mook and Nancy are something else somewhere else. So some things are forever. And one can say, yeah, but you can extract helium from water. You can extract oxygen from water. Yeah, you can. That's true. That's true. But some things are forever.
Beautifully put.
And I saw that with Mook.
That's really inspiring.
Their wedding, they were like, they looked to the north, the south. They looked at the floor. They were like doing all this like energy stuff. I'm like, yo, what in the world? I'm like, yo, Mook, what made you guys do that? She was like, he said, we just felt that that's how we wanted to express our bond by connecting to the universe and the planet. and take advantage of the time that we have. He's like, well, I just passed away 3 times this past year. It was, I saw something that I've never, got educated on the power of, this is the power of love. So it's like, I got educated on the power of love, you know, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Phil Collins. But yeah, it was, I got educated on that. I was like, wow, that's just fucking powerful.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
That's why I asked what love is, because it's that right there.
Armor.
Yeah.
No, not only that. That's how happy he is. She's got hers feeding, because he has to feed himself, and he has no intestines.
Really?
That's her feeding him at the wedding.
No way.
Putting the
That is love. Oh my God, that is so beautiful.
you know, so
That is love. That is being in the mud. That is like, I'm with you for everything, forever and always, and the next life.
yeah. And then you have like Hollywood. Then you have like there's a whole different world out there what people think love is, and what they not only think, what they execute love, how they execute love, how they express their love. And I saw that with my best friend that I've known since 8, who was always in love with somebody. Like, I love her, Willie. I'm like, you just met her. We're 12. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what is it? Hey, Will, I think I love this is the real one. I'm like, we're 15.
Oh my God, it sounds like me.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, Will, I just lost my virginity. Like, we are 14. Like, what? And then I'm like, I just turned 20. I'm like, yo, I just finally did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like super late, all late and shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mookie's, I love that dude.
Wow, that was a really beautiful thing to share. Thank you for showing me. That really touched me. I mean, the forever thing is, it eludes so many people. We live in a world where, and even I am, you know, in a place in my life where I'm like, I don't even know if I believe in anything lasting forever, because I came from a broken family. I came from a place where I just thought, there is no such thing as forever, but I will give everything into what I do, into the person I love, into my career, into everything I believe in, until the end. And I think fighting for what you truly love is so important in today's world. And I don't get caught up being in Hollywood, you know, because I'm British. I'm new here. And so I think
there's Hollywood everywhere. So Hollywood is not the location. Hollywood is just like, it's a surface. I only see things on the surface. And depending on how bright and sparkly that surface is when I care about it. And the moment that surface gets like some smut on it, or like becomes dingy, crusty, I no longer want to be associated with this surface. I want to move to a different surface. And Hollywood is that. And then there's Hollywood like that all over the place, where it's like the shiny object. And whether it's a trophy or fish scales, you know, fish scales shine too. But with fish scales comes an odor that maybe people don't want to. They don't luster after fish scales like they luster after like gold and glitter. So, yeah, Hollywood's in Primrose.
Oh wow, you know your places in London,
right,
don't you? By the way, Primrose Hill is where my father was born and raised.
Yeah, Primrose is cool. I mean, I like it there. Yeah, I like London a lot.
London's cool. My family are there. It's so fun. Okay, final question. Tell us something you wish that the world knew about you that they don't.
I told you I'm stealth. I ain't gonna tell them that. Yeah.
Like, maybe you like playing video games, or like I don't know, I'm just like, maybe you like playing video games. Like, if I had to share something, what the fuck would I say? That I could share that I wish no one knew about me? Well, people know that.
Do you wish people didn't know about you? One time, Chad Hurley, the guy that created YouTube, he's like, what do you enjoy the most? Having success or being famous? I was like, success. He was like, but would you like success without fame? I'm like, yes, of course. He was like, well, what if you made something that no one knew you made? What if you had all the money in the world and no one knew why you had money? Are you going to feel lonely, or are you going to feel like content and happy? Well, if you really truly love what you made, don't you want people to know that you made it? And if you really had that, you know, acknowledgement, and it surrenders your privacy, are you happy? I'm like, yo, and then I felt for him, because I'm like, wow, wait a second. Are you asking me this because you made YouTube the world's tool and no one knows, hey, Chad Hurley? So is he fighting something? First off, Chad Hurley is fucking amazing. And everybody should know who Chad Hurley is. The OG brain and unearther of YouTube. And but that was a pretty profound question that he asked. And fame over success. I would take success still, because you could do so much more to help people. And if you really truly believe in helping folks, and that's what makes you happy, then being acknowledged for what you did, eventually you're going to get irritated by it. Every single person that I know that searched for fame and hunted for it complains about it. They don't want it anymore. When they can't go take a shit and somebody's waiting outside the bathroom stall like, hey, yo, let me take a picture. Like, yo, bro, I'm fucking shitting, dude. Like, damn. Hey, come on, I know. Just let me get a picture, bro. Like, hello? Can I even wash my hands? You trying to shake my hand, bro? I was touching balls and shit. Hello? Like, you know what I'm saying? People do some crazy shit in the fucking bathroom. Like, yo.
People do that?
What? Motherfucking famous person be taking a piss and shit, doing a million shakes to make sure they ain't get no leak. And then a dude comes up like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, hello? I just got finished touching my shit. You want to fucking shake hands and fucking club hug in the bathroom? What the
That is
fuck
so
outta here?
disgusting.
Yeah, big time, bro. People lose all guards notion of like responsibility for excitement. The same for like guys when they see a hot chick at a club. Everything goes out the window. They're no longer thinking responsible anymore. So girls are already famous. If you're hot and you walk into a place, guys receive that, it's famous. Because that's how people act to famous people. People lose their guards. They put down all responsibilities. They put down all rational thinking because they're excited. And guys treat females that are hot the same way. So girls be like, what does it feel like to be famous? Go out to the club, show body parts, and see how guys act. That's exactly what fame feels like. And eventually girls will be like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. They're only looking at me for the things I show. And sometimes that's good to feel that way, but after a while it's like, I just want to be able to eat. I just want to be able to chill. And to the people that are excited, that's not fair to them either. Because the people are excited because they're excited. Like, oh my gosh, I know how I felt if I see Beyonce. I'm like, oh shit, Beyonce. She'd be like, you know, I love me some Beyonce. I fucking love Beyonce. I love her. Like I fan over Beyonce. Who else do I fan over? Oprah.
Absolutely. Love that too. Both those people I absolutely love. They are just amazing inspirations.
Who else do I fan over? In tech. Who else do I fan over in tech?
Oh, Sam? No. You have your own people.
Right now, Dario.
From?
Dario, he's the guy that one of the guys that wrote ChatGPT 1, 2, and 3, who now has a company called Anthropic. I fan over that guy. Dimas. the guy from DeepMind. I fan over that dude. Like, oh shit, Dimas, I want to ask him questions. Like, oh shit, I want to ask him something. You know, not so much take pictures, but I just want to pick your brain. I want to know what's going on in there. And that's how people feel when they see their favorite artist, their favorite actress and actor, their favorite designer. And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to them that it becomes celebrities get annoyed by that. So that's why I would choose success over fame.
That is so interesting.
Because it's not fair to the person who's been bombarded and their privacy is no longer. And it's not fair to the person who's excited. Because your whole career is because of them. And now what, you're higher up than them, that you can't take the time to be like, hey, yeah, so what's up, little man? How you doing? Oh yeah, okay, cool, let's take a picture. Or if a girl's fanning out, you have to be sure that they're in a safe place. Like if a girl's like, oh my gosh, all giddy and stuff, you gotta make them feel safe. Because there's a lot of freaking scummy people that'll take advantage of their excitement. And so there's a lot of responsibility with fame,
particularly
that people don't take serious. They put themselves and their privacy, which they should, higher than the folks that gave them their success. And that's a delicate dance. So that's why being stealth, being a ninja, is the path that I take, because I think too deep about it. I'm the kind of person, if I'm late, if I'm like, oh shit, you got a 4 p.m. and it's 3:50 and I'm walking through, I'm probably gonna be late because people are gonna stop me, and then I'm most likely gonna overcompensate and talk to them. And then that'll put me late. Because I will engage in like conversation. Hey, so what's up? I don't know, what's up with you? How you? Are you from LA? Where'd you go to high school? And then next thing you know, 20 minutes pass, I'm late to my meeting. Because
you were giving.
Yeah. So that's why stealth, you don't have to worry about that. So my stealth reasons, I have reasons for my stealth. And you know, there's levels of thought to why I take backdoors, why I take where I like to be super covert.
I love that. Do you ever go undercover? I bet you must love that. Like undercover to a place where you like can hide and just be like stealth and like.
No. Wear big glasses and be like, yo, what is Will? Like,
no, but like, is there not a way that you can like put a mask on?
During COVID was the only time I'm like, oh shucks, check us out. Everybody's stealth. But no. Yeah.
It's a responsibility. So interesting. Oh my God. Well, that has been such an amazing show today. I've enjoyed talking to you so much. I feel like I could be here for hours. You're so interesting. What's something that you believe to be true that others don't?
I believe the children of the future help him live. I was like, I just went into Whitney. I'm sorry. I was like,
Beautiful song.
No, I believe that, I believe I can fly. No, I'm joking. I can't do that one. Sorry, R. Kelly. I believe in life after love. Sorry, can't do that.
Yep, keep going. I believe I can in Honey, that film. Have you seen the film? I believe I can. You know that song? Oh, dang, that's a good one for you.
Damn, okay.
I'm gonna have to give you it from Honey.
Let's see, what do I believe that is true that other people don't? Is that what it is?
Like for me, I believe that we are going to go to Jupiter in the next 50 years. Some people don't believe that. Or perhaps you believe that things last forever. Maybe that's it. You already said it.
I believe that I believe we've been here before with AI.
Yep.
This isn't the first time we've encountered an intelligence that you say a word and it wakes up. This isn't the first time you say something like abracadabra and out comes some knowledge. Or Shazam, and out comes some knowledge. I believe that those fairy tales were speaking some type of truth. I believe that a genie is now a product. I believe that a spirit, I think it's a coincidence or coincides. Like, a coincide and coincidence are actually the same kind of word. They just slightly mean something a little different. So, two different sides of a coin. So coincide, coincidence, and sides of a coin. I believe that using that framework, that AI is a jinn, and a jinn at the bar is a spirit. Excuse me, can I get some gin? And they're serving spirits. But in the mystical sense, a spirit is a jinn. And certain religions, you say Bismillah to ward off evil spirits. And at that point in time, where spirits, those types of spirits were, or jinns, were in popular culture that people needed to have a word to ward them off. There was a mathematician by the name of Al-Jabbar, who was the father of algebra. And that advanced math gave us their version of AI then. And they tried to put the genie in the bottle. And how it got out the bottle in the first place, to put it back in the bottle, makes me think, what let the genie out the bottle this time? And are we going to be responsible so we don't have to come up with words like Bismillah to ward off evil AIs? I believe that we've been here before. I believe that what the past was far more complex than what they taught us in school. I believe that Egyptians, Sumerians, what they were doing and working on were light years beyond what we are taught to believe. I believe if the pyramids are in a place where there's nothing but sand, that maybe what made the pyramids was an ocean that wasn't water, because the only place you have sand is where there was once water to break up the rocks. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it was water where animals or fossils were, because one would say, well, where are the fossils to prove? Well, the Dead Sea would tell you that certain water don't have organisms in it to leave fossils. And maybe, just maybe, the way the pyramids were built were under some type of liquid. Hence the reason why there's sand there, and the ability to maneuver large objects in the density of water. I believe that Harry Potter, a lot of that magic, that's not fantasy either. I believe that the wand that he's probably using is some type of Hollywood, because that wood is what conducts. You could use it as a conducting mechanism. Hence the reason why Hollywood is a land of magic. I believe that the things that were told to us are surface stuff. And it gets much deeper. And the depth will be revealed in these times for those who seek it. And for those that aren't seek it, it's going to smack them in the face. I think we're in an era of a new type of awakening. I believe that the concept of woke was hijacked. Now, when you say you're woke, it's like, oh my gosh, you're woke. As if motherfuckers wanted to be asleep. Like, oh my gosh, seriously, how could woke be bad? You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to be asleep. Oh man, that person's woke. Like, yeah, hello. Why do you want to stay asleep though? I believe that the revolution. There was a song by the name of "The Revolution Won't Be Televised" by an artist by the name of Gil Scott-Heron, and I believe the revolution got gentrified, and because they didn't want the revolution to happen. And the way to really truly disarm folks is to take them away from a concept of belonging, purpose, and question skepticism, cynicism, only to find some version of truth. So to cloud and distract people from truth, let's hit them with a whole bunch of nothingness representing somethingness to deter them and distract them. I believe that mass hypnosis is happening on social media. I believe that I believe in humanity, though. And I think all these things, these divisive tactics will fade. Mm-hmm. I believe that the creative community will inspire. Mm-hmm. I think that the folks at large, the populace, are going to want to contribute to solving problems. I believe that a lot of the problems that have held us back in the past will be resolved in the near future. This rapid, massive tsunami of awesome change is going to happen. I believe that we're going to be all right, Kendrick Lamar. But the only way we're going to be all right is if we acknowledge these things that I believe. Not me. No, that sounds very dictatorship. Believe what I said. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we acknowledge these things that are, conundrums and puzzle work and try to solve them, that we're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And not take everything at face value or on the surface value. Just dig a little deeper and open up a little bit more.
Wow, so deep. And I know that the show being called The Law of Attraction Secrets, that definitely touched a lot of people. I know that for sure reached a lot of people. I think we live in a simulation. I could talk about this for hours. But,
a simulation? I don't think so.
Really? You don't think there's no kind of... You don't think there's something maybe playing us? Like we're in their game?
Okay, let's go down that. If it's a simulation, what is it simulating? First, you have to answer that question. All right, here's a piano, and if I play, all right, here's a simulated piano, and if you never heard a piano before, oh, sorry. If you heard a grand piano, you would be like, oh wow, kind of sounds like a grand piano. That's a simulation of a grand piano. Why do I have to have a simulation of a grand piano? Because the access. I can just whip it out. I don't have to carry it. A grand piano is heavy as fuck. You can't just travel with it in an airplane. It's not practical to travel with the grand piano everywhere if there's only one of them. Mm-hmm. And although there's like grand pianos everywhere, it's much easier to have a synthesized simulation of a grand piano because the audience, they hear it the same way. Whether I'm playing a real grand piano or a synthesized simulation of a piano, the audience is hearing a piano. So if this is a simulation, what is it simulating? And why is it simulating? Or are we building a simulation? I think if this is a simulation, we're in the process of building one.
I think we have free will within it. That's really interesting. I never thought about building something else. I feel like we're an organism, but there's organisms within us, right? So there's cells and there's atoms. And I feel like there's a bigger something, like an energy, like another something. We are just so small in this universe. And there's another universe and another something.
Yeah.
And like...
Yeah, so like we are... organisms in a God body. Mm-hmm. But to say that is a simulation, then you're discrediting whatever it is that we are living in and on.
No, we have free will. We are designing there's something we are doing as a great good, and I don't think everyone is tapped into this, like that we can connect to one another through our minds. There is a greater consciousness. We can send, when somebody heals, 3 people stand around them and send love to them. I've seen like live healings of people. You can see on YouTube. I mean, if you don't believe me, go have a look on YouTube, people. You can see where like tumors have been shrunk down from, like love being sent, 3, 4, 5 people standing over people who are sick. There is something that we are here to do greater. We are all connected on such a higher form, and so many people just don't wake up, like you were saying, they're asleep, and they don't wake up to the fact that we collectively can do something greater. That's what I see as a simulation. Maybe the wrong word, but it's some kind of, there is something.
Yeah, a higher dimensional.
Yes.
But is this dimension or whatever it is we're living that we call life a simulation? By the definition of simulation, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but if it is a simulation, what is it simulating? And what is real life if this is a simulation of life? And what was the purpose of the simulation?
That's the questions that I think we're always going to ask. Like, almost, why are we here? Same thing. Why? I think the most common question asked, and one of them on Google, is, why are we here? Like, why am I here? What's my reason? Like, are we here for love? Are we here to find forgiveness, joy? Are we here to do something?
It depends on each person's energy and what it's lacking and what they need to fulfill on an energetic, spiritual level. Maybe your reason why you're here is different than Hub's.
Yeah.
Or maybe to Josh and Nancy, the reason why they're here is to create water on a different realm, metaphorically. But why are we all here as a species? I don't know. Maybe we're here to create something. Maybe we're the builders of a realm. Maybe we're the working bees or the working ants.
This is what I believe where you're going here with it. Is like,
no, I'm saying maybe. I'm not saying
yeah.
that.
No, that's what I believe. That's what I believe. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I want people to be like, well, I am saying that we some beehives. No, I'm not saying that. That's
but
why I'm saying maybe.
I am totally saying that.
I'm saying maybe, just creatively. I'm just thinking ultra dimensional and imaginative. Maybe.
I love this
precursor. Maybe. Maybe we're the angel builders. Maybe we're the angel makers.
That's beautiful.
So, if you look at like Egyptian hieroglyphs, there are always these splice things happening. You have the half jackal, half whatever human form. You have half scarab, half human form. Half bird, half human form. And then angels, you have like half bird, half human form, whatever type of human that angel is. You have the Sphinx, half lion, half human. You have all these like half that, half that. Or maybe human is like half ape, half whatever. But we haven't seen those things. We just see pictures of them, depictions of them in the past. Maybe we'll see that in our lives because, I don't know. That's why I'm saying maybe. But the more I look, that's where it seems like it's going. That we're making something, building something. I don't know, maybe. Or maybe we're just here to freaking party, fuck around, fuck up the earth, you know what I'm saying? Extract minerals and fuck each other over, create borders, blow people up, not be humane to one another. Maybe we're here to like degrade women over songs, and maybe we're here to disrespect other people's cultures, and maybe we're here to like not give a shit and just drink and intoxicate ourselves. Maybe we're here to like shoot animals and use their carcasses as trophies. Maybe we're here to like pollute the oceans. Maybe we're here to pollute the air. Maybe we're here to put satellites over the earth and have like, you know, space shrapnel out there colliding, shooting down to the planet. Maybe we're here to fuck shit up. Or maybe we're not. Maybe we're here to like grow spiritually. Maybe we all were put here in like spiritual prison to get shit right. And you have a whole bunch of like spiritual criminals here on earth. Maybe.
Maybe we are here to evolve onto the next level. Maybe we are going to keep coming back around. And you feel like you know someone, you meet someone, you're like, I met you somewhere before. And it's nothing to do with them. It's a spiritual connection. Like I've met people who I truly believe are there for a reason in my life, who I believe this is so powerful. There's a connection, like I know I've met them in a previous life. And on that note, we are going to beautifully close today's show. I've had the most amazing time. Thank you so much for spending time with us here on the Law of Attraction Secrets. It's been
Law of
beautiful.
Attraction Secrets?
Like the secrets.
What do you think the law of attraction is? I have a question for you. Like,
Oh, I love that. Law of attraction to me is your thoughts become your things. Your thoughts become your reality. I have a quote in my book which says, your outer reality is a direct reflection of your inner self-beliefs. What you believe on the inside, that you're worthy of love, that you're worthy of joy, that you're worthy of things, is what you become.
yeah.
And you create your own reality. Life is a movie. You choose your character and you write your script. Who do you want to be? Like, you want to show up? When I rebirthed myself from Natasha, the drug addict, the webcam girl, I decided, no, fuck that. I changed my fucking name. I changed my whole thing. I was like, I am not her anymore. She is shattered. Her ego is shattered. It's gone. You choose who you are. I was thinking negatively every day. I was focusing on the negative. And one day I said, no, maybe this shit is real. Maybe the law of attraction that I kept reading about in books is real. I am going to find something different if I think a little different. Mm-hmm. And I did.
Yeah, it's like, say for example, every day you wake up, you think about helping kids and preparing them. There's a physical place on earth for you. It's called the school. And your thoughts are going to find yourself in someone else's thoughts that built that school. It's like your thought matches this person's thought that built the school, and this is a place for you to teach the people that you are thinking about helping and teaching. Say, for example, your thoughts are to help people recover and nurse them. And that's all you've been working on, going to school for. There's a place for you. There's clinics, there's hospitals, there's a building on earth for the things that you think about. And there's space for you to do that. For everything that's in this space, in inner space, is in outer space. So if you're thinking about songs all the time, man, I'm thinking about music all the time, there's a building for you. It's a studio. And I built one. Because at one point in time when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, that's all I thought about. I never done drugs. I barely smoked weed. I never hunted chicks. I'm not the kind of guy that's at the club like, hey girl, what up girl, let me get your number girl. That's not me. My thing is like, oh man, I just can't wait to do this. I'm gonna do that. I wanna do this, I wanna do that. I like to hunt dreams. And music was the thing that I always thought of for the majority of my life. And now I have my studio. My thoughts were so big that it manifested to a physical space on earth. And now my thoughts are FYI. I remember thinking, walking through London, Battersea Park, like, what am I going to name it? What am I going to name it? What am I going to name it? And I was like, oh yeah, focus your ideas. Yeah, focus your FYI. Oh shit. Came back to LA, was randomly walking, saw a sign place. I'm like, oh wow, let me go to there to see if they can make my signs. Made my signs. But it all was in my head. Your thoughts are matter. That's why people say, hey, what's the matter? Because you can materialize your thoughts in the physical form.
Love that.
There's a rap that I wrote when I was like 27. It goes, I came from out of my mama to be on my own, alone, on top of this rock, under this ozone. These skin and bones is all I own, and when it's heavy, I can hold my own. I'm a doctor because I doctored a poem. I sit on my throne, talking this microphone, because the rhymes I recite will collide and hit your dome. These scriptures will teach you the unknown. You see, I don't conversate for the sake of chit-chatter, because the shit that I spit does matter. The thoughts in my mind I can manifest to matter, and when I die, then my matter that returns to magma. You see, I'm all alone, but alone with all. I don't fight for nothing, I fight for a cause, because a cause is worth fighting for, because cause and effect's the root to all laws. If you get this, then you're gonna get that. So don't do this to prevent that. That's why every ghetto at night stays pitch black, so the people on the street stay strapped. Because they got your mind captive. They got your life captive. They took us out of Africa and turned us into Baptists so we could praise someone who does what we can do. Because Christ said, you can make a miracle too. So I was like 27 when
Boom! Mic drop. Yo, you need to bring that into music. That is so powerful.
No, not.
Was that the first time you've ever like done that one?
No, I like writing songs to make people happy.
The lyrics are so powerful.
Yeah,
in
that's
that.
for me though.
I like that one though.
Yeah.
That's the one that I like, where it's for you, where it's like you're diving into what the thoughts, the everything that you're materializing, what's here. God, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
So you were already in touch with the law of attraction, even if you didn't know about it or understand.
Oh yeah, the law
it.
of attraction is like, I remember I would say things like, oh, we're missing someone. And then App and Tab would be like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, whatever it is we're trying to accomplish, we're not going to accomplish it because we're missing someone who can help magnetize the dream at its full potential. And your thoughts, my thoughts, and his thoughts are not enough. We need someone else's thoughts to bring into the fold to really help us manifest it at its full potential. And no matter what your team is, you got to look at your team subjectively, critically, strategically, and figure out, is this the configuration that equals the manifestation of the dream? If everyone's here, like think of Google. The reason why Google is because they put together an amazing team of believers, an amazing team of doers, strategy, their skill sets were at the level, and they were able to manifest. The same with Apple.
Yep.
The same with Meta. The same with Tesla. The same with anything you go to the supermarket and you see on a shelf, or anything that's out in the world vibrating at full functionality. Someone was able to manifest it because they had a configuration of the right laws of attraction amongst the core. And that whole concept of you're stronger than your weakest link. You're also as weak as your weakest think. The phrase you're thinking of might be, you're only limited by your weakest beliefs. But I like the way I said it. You're only as strong as your weakest think.
No, I like what you said. That's very unique, and you're spot on. So to me, the law of attraction is that. And whether you know it's happening all around you, because everything you think about. Okay, I'll go for some science for you. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, and it filters.
What?
The reticular activating system.
Yeah, what's that?
So it's a part of your brain that filters 2 million bits of data every second, colors and sounds and things that you see, and it shows you anything that you deem as important. So what do you deem as important? Well, anything you focus your mind on is what your reticular activating system, nicknamed the RAS, deems as important to you. So if I focus my mind on, I am never going to be this great thing.
What's it called?
Reticular activating system.
What is the reticular activating system? Sorry. What is the reticular activating system?
Hey Siri, can I get the definition?
The reticular activating system, RAS, is the part of the brain that plays a crucial role in regulating arousal, attention, and wakefulness. It filters incoming sensory information and helps you focus on relevant stimuli while ignoring irrelevant ones. The region is like a gatekeeper that processes external and internal information and modulates your levels of consciousness, allowing you to concentrate. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, right, yeah. So this is my jams in the book. So essentially, it shows you anything you deem as important. So if you deem as important thoughts like that you focus on a lot, okay, I am not worthy of this, or fuck, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm never going to be someone, or I'm not as good as them. I'm never going to get that promotion, or whatever it is you're focusing on. You're going to see around you a reality that reflects that through people, events, and places. Therefore, now we know that, let's switch our mind from the science behind it to, I believe I'm getting out of this. I believe I'm amazing. I believe I'm loved. And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's whether you believe it or not. If you can focus on this all the time, if you can focus on something enough, your reticular activating system believes it is important to you, and it starts to mirror around you a different reality. It's really interesting.
I want to show you this thing that I wrote to a dear friend of mine the other day.
Show me.
Stay optimistic. Be mindful of your magnet and what you attract. Set your mind's eye towards your desired destination and stay on course magnetically, and keep your thoughts aligned with that frequency and coordinates. What do you think of frequently becomes your frequency, and how you are vibrating currently is your current. If you want your vibration to alter so it attracts your desired outcome, you have to change what you think of, because thoughts lead to what you practice. Yeah, that's that.
That is so powerful. You wrote that yourself?
Yeah, I wrote that to a dear friend.
That's like a book. You should like have this in a book. That is so real and so meaningful. You're so tapped in.
Yeah, and then the second one went,
I love this.
the ability to alter your thoughts, to pop that ass and drop it low, is the reason why all the money and $1 bills are going to be thrown at you at the strip club. Get it, don't stop, pop it, do that shit. Powerful. Just kidding, I'm playing.
I was like,
I didn't write that, I was fucking around.
can I just be honest? I was like, where did we go from spiritual like fucking guru to like, you know, fucking like at the strip club? I was
I'm joking, I didn't write that.
I had to make her dance.
I was like, yo, there was a switch and like, but that's cool. Like, but no, I really like the first one.
I was joking, the second one I didn't write that.
Oh, okay. Well, I really like the
freestyle.
only one that you wrote, which is really deep. You're really going to enjoy my book when you dive in. It's
Yeah,
really,
check it out.
For you, you're on a journey. You're seeking. And so long as you seek, you will continue on this journey of the law of attraction. You continue on the journey to seek more and more, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You rarely meet people who are like completely sought. They have already found what they seek on their journey. They are, I think we go until we die and then we continue. But some people are, very rarely, I met one, she wrote The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. And she said, she's a friend of mine, she came on the show and she spoke about it on the show and she said, I no longer seek. I found all the answers I need. This is amazing. It's like spiritual enlightenment. And I think there's obviously people out there who are in that place. But I believe that we will always be on a journey, and I think educating people to, like somebody is listening to this today, I'm sure, I don't know who that someone is, but someone's life has just changed. Like your words that you just read just then, or that story you told about Mookie and Nancy, or some of the words that you shared around love or AI, how it can enhance, or something has touched someone today in a way that maybe they never saw from you before. So I'm just so grateful for you being here. And
Well, thank you so much. It was great. You have great banter.
thank you. It was really fun. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have enjoyed being here as much as I have. I could do this over and over and over again. So make sure you share this with a friend if you've enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button so that you can get content like this to your device that inspires you every single day. Today we're here with Will.i.am, and I am so honored that you have had this experience with me. It's been amazing.
We're on YouTube?
We're going to do, YouTube.
We're on YouTube?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? No. Thank you, Chad, for making this. I know you're not a part of it anymore, but the world would not be what it is today if you didn't unearth YouTube and nurture it to its place to where you handed it off to YouTube and all the you handed it off to Google. And all the Googlers, thank you so much for loving this freaking platform called YouTube the way Chad did and growing it, and all the folks that run it. Thank you, Lior. Thank you, Susan Wojcinski, and the new CEO over at YouTube. Yeah.
Beautiful. This is available on all podcasting platforms, so make sure that you enjoy in your way. And YouTube is so special. So I've learned a lot from you about YouTube from that. I'm going to look at Chad later. That's really intrigued me.
Chad Hurley? Yeah, he's a dude. He's a dude.
I'm going to dive in. Thank you so much. Peace and love.